What's up guys, and welcome back to another episode of Career Mode. This is episode number 34, and we start today's episode off with a brief look at the Championship League table, where as you can see, our opponents for our first game of today's episode, Nottingham Forest, are sat just outside of the playoff places in the Championship for this, our last 16 tie in the FA Cup. And of course, in the last two rounds, we faced Championship opposition, first beating Cardiff City and then Norwich City. We only just scraped past those two Championship sides though in the last two rounds. So now taking on Nottingham Forest away at the City Ground in Nottingham, I did once again decide to pick a really strong lineup. On the back of the exhilarating 3-2 victory away at Stamford Bridge, we did make some changes, but it was still a really strong side out there as we look to avoid the cup set for the third straight time and make it through to the quarterfinals for the first time of the series. And the first chance fell to us 5 minutes in, and what a fantastic solo goal it was as well by Ivan Toney. This guy has been on absolute flames in recent weeks. That is his 5th goal in 4 games in all competitions as he hits the floor there after a wonderful solo effort. And I've struggled to score nice solo goals in this year's career mode. I found it quite difficult to go on nice little storming runs with one individual player and then finish the move off as well. But that was a lovely run there. Evades 2 challenges from the same player, then beats Joe Worrell, all ends up with a lovely bit of skill and has the finish to match as well. Nottingham Forest 0, Sheffield United 1, and it's Toney, the man of the moment, who makes it 1-0 and puts us in front. And just past the helmet there, a great block by John Egan saw us still leading by a goal, and from that block we went on the counter-attack, won ourselves a corner, and who came up for the corner and who scored from the corner? John Egan puts his fingers in his ears and says he can't hear the criticism he's got this year. Of course, we discussed Egan just a couple of episodes ago. He only had 1 clean sheet in 12 Premier League games when part of our back 5. I've talked about it this year. Since Ben Godfrey came in the summer, he's lost his place in the starting 11 despite being our best centre-half for last year. Well, how about that for a way to get back in my team? Wonderful block on one end, then comes forward for a set piece at the other and heads the ball in to make it 2-0 and make sure we leave the City Ground with the victory and make it into the quarter-finals of the FA Cup. Wonderful defensive display by John Egan and got a goal for his man of the match performance, and that was that. Final score at the City Ground, Nottingham Forest 0, Sheffield United 2. Third straight round against the Championship side, third straight win as we avoid the cup. So well, actually no, it's 4 wins in 3, isn't it? Because 3 wins in 4 as we had a replay against the Canaries. But either way, we made it through. That's the most important thing. And for the first time in the series, we are in to the FA Cup quarter-final. So buzzing about that. Yes, we've had the cup luck this year. I'll be the first to admit it. But either way, delighted that we are through to the last 8 of the FA Cup. And who will be facing in the FA Cup quarter-finals in our third and final game of today's episode? It is Manchester City away at the Etihad Stadium as we'll take on Pep's boys away in Manchester. And the other ties are Spurs versus Wolves, Chelsea versus Arsenal, what a tie that will be, Everton versus Manchester United, and of course us versus Manchester City away from home. And that was the team I really didn't want as well. Right now, they're top of the table in the Premier League in the game. And of all the teams that, I mean, whoever we would have faced, it would have been tough. All the teams remaining, apart from us, are in the top 10 in the Premier League. So we're the weakest side out of the 8 remaining in the Premier League. But listen, our luck was going to run out eventually in the cup draws, right? We've had 3 straight draws against lower league sides. Of course, eventually, we were going to have a tough one. Now we've got the toughest tie of the lot. Man City away at the Etihad Stadium. And that's our third and final game of today's episode in the FA Cup quarterfinals, as we'll be massive underdogs as we try and reach Wembley for the first time of the save. But still, second game of today's episode and our first Premier League game of today's episode, coming on the back of 3 straight victories in all competitions for the Blades. How we start off this game against the Hornets, absolutely terrible. 4 minutes in and Watford would take the lead. I just could not get the ball off them. That was a goal right from kickoff there. I could not get the ball off them in the first few minutes. Didn't surrender possession once to the visitors, and they found the back of the net after a slow, patient build-up as well. So the visitors in front, 1-0 to Watford, and it could have been 2-0 as well had it not been for Dean Henderson, the same man going forward, and once again as our number 1 bailing us out. So still 1-0 to Watford, who had started off this game absolutely superbly, not threatened by our fantastic form of late, looking the better team as they almost doubled their lead. So still 1-0, but a golden chance to get back on level terms here in the 25th minute. Great ball by Ross McCrory over the top. Emerson cuts it out, but a terrible pass goes straight to Toney. He rolls lobs it through to McBurney, and Oliver McBurney, how great is this to see as well. No goals in a few games for our number 9, but he's back on the score sheet, and our man who's been scoring the goals of late turns provider for this one. Ivan Toney, great through ball, and there's McBurney with the finish to make it 1-1. So back on level terms with Scott with a goal, and he could have had his second goal of the game 10 minutes later as well. Great cross by Shaw, in goes McBurney with a diving header, just couldn't hit the target there as it's still 1-1. But he was looking in the mood in the first half though. He already had one goal, he could have had a hat-trick in the first half. Still 1-1, but 40th minute, another great chance for the Hornets. This shot going just wide the post, it was still 1-1. Cracking first half though in this game. Both teams going all out in their attacks, looking to be in front heading into the break. And in the second half, another great chance for McBurney and another golden chance spurned by our number 9. He could have had like 3 or 4 goals in this game. Instead, he'd only scored 1 as we were still tied at 1-1. In the 65th minute, this was amazing. Tony turns Cavaselli with a lovely flick, goes through one-on-one against the goalkeeper, looks to smash it in, but no, you need to see this on the instant replay. Emerson with the greatest goal line clearance of all time. It's an overhead kick off the line clearance by the former Chelsea left back as he gets it away in the nick of time. That was extraordinary, and it's still 1-1 in a thrilling, exhilarating game, and in stoppage time as Watford came forward for their first real chance of the second half. And wouldn't you just know it, it's heartbreak right at the death. And we've seen this story so many times since the series began, conceding late goals in stoppage time to prevent us from getting a point or all 3. Nathaniel Shaloba played forward after a lovely little flick, puts it past Dean, and that was how the game would finish. The win streak is over, the Hornets get the win. The stats were quite deceptive. I thought it was a really even game in this one, but it was a late winner for Watford. Their lad Quinner was incredible in that game. He just ran rings around me all game long. He got the assist for that second goal, and of course scored the first as well. It was a really nice run of form from the Blades up until that moment there, and you know, we could have won that game. We could have at least left with a point, but instead the unbeaten run is over. Watford get the win, and I would have said as well, had we won that game, I think we probably would have been safe in the Premier League for another year. As things stand, still 10 games to go, still lots of football remaining. We're not there just yet, but despite the loss, we are still several points clear at the bottom 3, and I'll probably say again, just a 1 win or perhaps 2 wins, and we'll be safe for another season playing Premier League football. There's still lots of teams below us right now in the table, so we're massive underdogs in the relegation race, if that makes sense. We're very unlikely to go down, but it's not over till the fat lady sings. It's not over yet. We still need, again, I'd at least say 1 or perhaps 2 wins in our final 10 games to cement our place in the Premier League for another year. Still following that, some more scouting updates, and as you can see, I decided to promote Jerome Barbier to our first team because we've now got a full academy and can't put any more players in there. And I wanted to put this French cam in who looks very good, and Barbier, as you can see, is now our 4th choice goalkeeper. 16 years old, has potential to be special, you gotta love it, and looks like a pretty cool goalkeeper, doesn't he there? But a freestyle week, but he's 6'5", at just 16 years old. We'll need to train at positioning because it's very low right now, but either way, we've got McCall out of the academy, now Barbier as well, 2 very good academy goalkeepers, and of course with Foster leaving come the end of the season, we're not going to need a backup goalkeeper next year. McCall's going to be our backup for Dean Henderson, and now Barbier will be our 3rd choice as well. So I like the fact we've got 2 great academy goalkeepers now. Means that next year we won't need to spend any pennies whatsoever on a new substitute goalkeeper. Anyway, 3rd and final game of today's episode, and it was indeed time for the FA Cup quarter-final as we would travel away from home to take on Manchester City away at the Etihad Stadium. Very strong team picked for the game. We've been picking strong lineups in all of our cup games this season because we wanted a good cup run. We've had a good cup run, but we don't want it to end here. We might be massive underdogs, but we still sense we'd get through to Wembley for the first time in the series. And just 3 minutes in, what a golden chance for us to take the lead from the spot. João Cancelo takes down Ollie Shaw on a storming run into the area. Our left back tripped up. I love these classic kits that City have got, by the way. I think they're the only team that got a classic kit in this year's FIFA, but tripped up Shaw by Cancelo. No complaints from the Portuguese fullback. It's a clear spot kick, and what a chance for us to go a goal up. You guys know though, my penalty taking skills in this year's FIFA are pretty goddamn shambolic. So as McBurney put the ball down, I was feeling very anxious indeed. We wouldn't get many chances today away at the Etihad Stadium. We had to make this count. And we would. McBurney sends Edison the wrong way and makes it 1-0. Wasn't the best of spot kicks, but it finds the back of the net. That's all that matters. Mocking Gabriel Jesus for that celebration, perhaps. Not too sure, but either way, what a start for Sheffield United. 5 minutes in, we win a penalty. McBurney keeps his composure. Second goal in 2 games for our number 9, and we are in front, but the lead only lasted 4 minutes. Sergio Aguero, wearing the captain's armband, makes it 1-1. As the hosts are back on level terms instantly and says, come on boys, we should not be behind here to this Sheffield United side. 1-1, and they weren't behind for long, and they weren't on level terms for long either. 14 minutes later, Ilkay Gundogan played forward as the former Borussia Dortmund midfielder rifles it home. The turnaround complete very quickly. City show their prowess. It's 2-1, and we're behind for the first time in the game. We could have been 3-1 down as well had it not been for Dean making a good save at the near post here, as we still trailed by 1. But from the corner, Christian Eriksen whips it in towards the far post looking for Aguero. It's cleared away by McBurney, and as Lundstrom beats Sane to the ball, there's a chance for a counter. Norwood on the chest flicks it through to Ollie. Great first touch beats Gundogan, and he's away. McBurney gets in behind the back four of Man City, keeps on attacking, runs into the area. He's got red and white shirts in support, but he doesn't need a teammate as he picks out the top corner. Oliver McBurney, who had gone into a little bit of a goal scoring slump in recent weeks, now gets his third goal in 2 games and puts us back on level terms in a cracking first half. Heading into the break, 4 goals in the first 45 minutes. Manchester City 2, Sheffield United 2, and McBurney could have had a hat-trick 2 minutes after the restart as well. Great save by Edison as it was still 2-2, and City just couldn't handle the Scot. He was on fire in this game and playing so well, and as Jack Corky 10 minutes after the restart finds Baldock, again we attack through our number 9. Lovely 1-2 into Tony, great passing build-up. Lundstrom played forward and finds the back of the net as well. What a game here at the Etihad Stadium. Manchester City 2, Sheffield United 3, and the underdogs complete the turnaround and get ourselves in front. Just a topsy-turvy game here away in Manchester, and it's 3-2 to the Blades in a cracking FA Cup quarter-final. And I said we'd get to Wembley, and as things stand, we were on course for it. Great save by Dean here in the 64th minute, and it was all hands on deck from that third goal by Lundstrom. Directly after that, it was attack after attack after attack by the host, but they were met by Dean making save after save after save. Still 3-2, 25 minutes to go. Iñaki Williams going for goal though, and finally City back on level terms, drills it into the top corner as he runs to celebrate with Pep, and Henderson, who made a couple of great saves prior to this moment here, had absolutely no chance for this one. The former Bilbao man turned Scott McKenna, and talk about top bins, right to the top corner there, no chance for our number 1. Manchester City 3, Sheffield United 3, in an incredible FA Cup quarter-final tie, and once again it was Dean providing the heroics of 9 minutes to go. Another fabulous flying save there to keep us tied at 3-3 as City pushed and pressed and looked for a late winner. And from the corner, McBurney tries to play out from the back. Eriksen wins it back, chips it into the middle, and there is Bernardo Silva to drill it in past Dean at the near post, and in an incredible FA Cup quarter-final tie, one late twist right towards the end. McBurney, who hadn't put a foot wrong in this game, trying to play out from the back. It's not the best of balls forward. I didn't get enough power on the ball forward. One back by the former Spurs man, dinked into the middle. There's Bernardo Silva to finish, and that was how the game would end up. Final score in heartbreaking fashion. We end up on the losing end. Manchester City 4, Sheffield United 3, and just like last year, a late losing goal for us after we were dumped out by Leicester in the round of 16. This time the host Man City beat us by 4-3 away at the Etihad Stadium. Our progress in the cup ends at the last 16 stage. Last 8 even. They're through to Wembley, and it's heartbreak for the Blades. 1 game away from Wembley, but it just wasn't to be. A cracking game though, match of the series, no doubt about it, but it is a loss. It's 4-3 the final score. Back-to-back defeats in back-to-back games late on. Heartbreak for the Blades, and we're out of the FA Cup. But that was today's episode of Career Mode, guys. A big thank you for watching. We hope you have enjoyed it, and if you did enjoy today's episode, then please drop a like. Much love to you all, and I'll see you for the next episode very soon.